Thank you so much for tuning in to today's KTV and the terrific Tuesday tip of the week. Yeah, today is week 3 of the Remix Your Biz Challenge. Remix, holla! I hope you and your family had a fabulous Thanksgiving if you're here in the States. If you missed the first 2 weeks, you want to check them out above. And we are going to jump into something that I bet you may have never heard before. This foundation seems to elude a lot of online business owners. As a matter of fact, it eluded me for a very long time. And it wasn't until I worked with Marie Forleo and she kept hammering this into my head that I finally got the importance of it. So let's jump into today's week 3 of Remix Your Business Challenge. I live here in Walmart land in Bentonville, Arkansas, and we had the privilege of going to an unveiling of some of the hottest new toys about a month ago. And I was blown away by how much toys have changed in the last 15 to 20 years. One of the things that my daughter, who's 5 years old, really loved was this, stick with me because this is important, was this Barbie and this horse. And the Barbie actually controls the horse. She raises her hand and the horse walks. She puts her hand down and the horse stops. She can get on the horse. It actually moves. It's all mechanical. It's very cool. And it works seamlessly every time we played with it. But that reminded me of a foundation that a lot of online business owners miss. And that is, does your product actually work? Stick with me. When Mattel sat down to make this Barbie, or whatever hot new toy you want to talk about, but I'm using Barbie as an example, that walks on a horse, that controls a horse, I would imagine that it started as an idea in someone's mind. And then I would imagine that there were several prototypes and several test runs before they got it just perfect enough to go to market. Think about it. You know this as well as I do. Whether you're talking about the pharmaceutical industry, or you're talking about toys, or you're talking about television, things have to go through trials before they're just right to go to market. The problem, or the foundation that a lot of online business owners miss, is they think they can go straight from life coaching school to charging premium prices for their products. And I'm sorry, but in most instances, it doesn't work that way. So what am I talking about? And life coaching is just an example. You have to test your product. You have to get some data to know if this works. When I was trying to be a life coach, Marie kept telling me, Kendrick, test your stuff. Test it with as many people as you can. We've got to know if your stuff works. And I kept thinking, of course it works. I went through life coaching school. Of course it works. I know it works. But it's not just if it works, but can you teach it? And as it turns out, I hated teaching life coaching stuff. After 4 months of banging my head against the wall, I finally said, great, I'm going to teach this to as many people as I can, and I hated it, which led me here to sales coaching, which I love. So what am I saying? I'm saying that before any good, fantastic product that makes a lot of money, before it goes to market, you have to test it. You have to practice. You have to know if it works and if you are the person to sell it or to deliver the product or service. I guarantee you, as my good friend Jenny, she says, by testing your product, I don't know what you're going to learn, but you're going to learn something. And that something is going to move you closer to where you want to go. So, where does this leave you? If you are a budding online entrepreneur, well, that's a mouthful, budding online entrepreneur, and you've got a product or a service, but you can't really find clients, my question to you is, have you tested it? You have got to know that your stuff works, and that is step number 1 in creating buzz about you. I don't care what your web copy says. I don't care what your opt-in says. You need to know if your stuff works before we sell it, before we write your web copy. So, how do we do that, right? Great, Kendrick. So now I've got to test it. How do I do that? That's your challenge. Your challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to test your product, if you have not done so, with at least 10 people. 10 people by the end of the year. So to accept this challenge, and for a little help along the way, be sure that you sign up below for some extra added support on how to test your product so that you can have the business you dreamed of in 2014. And tune in next week for week 4, holla 4, it's like quarter number 4, but we're going to 6, of the Remix Your Business Challenge and the Terrific Tuesday Tip of the Week. Bye!